This podcast is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Travel is like the theme for the month for you, right? I mean, are you headed to SEC Media Days next week? And then when do you go to Paris?
So I think if I'd have come home and told Saul, hey, by the way, the week before I leave you for 3.5 weeks, I'm going to actually go to Dallas. I might not be married if I'd have done that. So Courtney and Evan and Jacob are headed down there to SEC Media Days in Dallas. And I'm going to hold down the fort back in Fayetteville and just help with whatever they need. And they're going to be there for the whole week. We haven't gone for the whole week, I don't think, since I went when Brett Bielema was hired, my first year here. But Texas OU are joining the league. It's going to be a big week, a lot to talk about, especially even more coaching changes. So I'm excited for those guys to kind of experience that on their own in Dallas and bring some pretty good content. So it should be fun.
Is there any hope? Are they going down there hopeful to for this Razorback team? If you can find out anything, or are you kind of going down to find out about Oklahoma and Texas and some of the other SEC teams? Is there a feeling that this team has a chance to get it back on the track and going back to a bowl game at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think that's what we'd love to see. I think the big thing, too, a couple things, and I'm sure Mike Irwin touched about this because he's got all his SEC Media Day theories, but this is going to be an important year for Sam Pittman, and everybody knows that. So you're bringing with you a guy in Landon Jackson who went last season, Taylen Green, who is the quarterback everyone wants to talk about. And you're bringing those guys to SEC Media Days and, hopefully sending a message that last year is not indicative of what this team can be or what they want to be or what they are going to be, and things are turning around. But this is going to be a big one for Sam Pittman because, he is on the hot seat. And with Texas and OU joining the league, and you're playing Texas this year, what can Arkansas do to set themselves apart and have some success? So I think that's kind of the message that Arkansas is trying to send is, hey, now wait a minute, don't just count us out automatically, especially with two new teams coming in. But I think the spotlight is with Texas and OU. I mean, they will be the SEC media darlings. It's in Dallas for a reason so that OU media and fans can come up, as can Texas fans from Austin. So how do you set yourself apart when everyone's focused on the two newcomers? And I'm curious to see how Arkansas kind of tries to do that.
I'm excited to listen to Taylen Green speak for the first time. Everything that we've read about him and, from teammates that were talking about what he was like in the locker room leading up to spring practice, then during spring practice, and what he's been like just generally kind of treating all of his teammates the same and going around the whole locker room. It just from what you're reading, this is the kind of kid I want to see what he's like up in front of the cameras and in front of those bright lights. Not like that has anything to do with how he's going to play on Saturdays, but if he's going to be the leader of this team, then I'm excited to hear, how he speaks and what he's got to say.
I think you're absolutely right, Phil. I think at the end of the day, you got to win people over, right? And that's what you walk away from SEC Media Days doing when the week is over. Who stood out? Who said something funny? Who carried themselves well? Who was really like, that guy is a sharp guy, I like him. And that's what you're looking for with Taylen Green. You always think, as funny as this is, Eli Drinkowitz is funny, and he'll get up there and he'll have a sense of humor, and he wins over the media every single SEC Media Day. Sam Pittman doesn't have that kind of personality, but Sam is still real, and people love him. So can Arkansas really win some people over during SEC Media Days? They go on the last day. They go on Thursday. So you get to go through you got the whole week to see what everyone else is doing. You got to win some people over, and I think Taylen Green can be that and be a really strong face for this Arkansas team, which I don't know if they've had for a couple of years.
You referenced the idea of the importance of this season for Coach Pittman and really for the program overall. You got to get some kind of forward momentum, which it felt like you had a couple of years ago, and then it's just backslid a little bit. And when you think of, the things that it takes to really build momentum for a football program, it's almost like stopping like a battleship. It just takes a long time to slow it down and then turn it around. You got to do this through you got if you're going to recruit well, you got to have proper NIL funds, and then we're learning about this. We look at the ideas of why do you lose some in-state prospects? NIL is a part of that. Why are you in the situation that you are with NIL? Not getting the kind of donations that you're trying to get. People are a little bit reluctant to donate if they feel that it's a program that to them is not worth donating. And that's what he's got to show, that it's a program that it's worth fans sending their hard-earned $30 or $15 a month or whatever it is. I mean, that's part of building momentum for a program now, isn't it?
It is, and I think you definitely have to win people over, like I said, in terms of the NIL, the Arkansas fans that are like, okay, I'm ready to invest in this again. But I think you also have to show that you're spending the NIL money you have wisely, that I understand that with the NIL and my funds and what I'm doing with it, I'm trying to win and win now, and I'm putting those funds into guys in the transfer portal like Taylen Green and the guys that they were able to bring to Arkansas to win now, to make this team win now and help rebuild that culture, that platform that they kind of had, and a little bit of it fell off last season. So, how can you show that I've gone out and got the best guys that I can with the funds and the resources that I have to bring in and win right now, and then the rest is going to work itself out, because eventually the NIL budget will hopefully, knock on wood, be where it can be, where you can go be aggressive in the portal, but also be aggressive in high school. But you also have to remember that, you might not have gotten this guy out of high school, but you can get him in 2 years with some NIL money out of the transfer portal. So it's a whole new world. Everyone is working. But they have to prove, especially with two teams coming in, that they can still hold their own, that they can get guys into this Arkansas program that can win and win right now, and you can at least try to stay competitive with the rest of the league.
How excited are you for Paris, and what events? Are you got something down where you're like, man, I can't wait to go watch these women or these guys compete in certain events? What are you excited for?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. Leave on the 21st, so it's right around the corner. It was like the 2-week countdown on Sunday, and things got real. But it's exciting, and you build these relationships with these athletes over the years. I mean, or over the couple months. Obviously, track and field is going to be my first answer because we have so many connections locally here at Arkansas, athletes who train at Arkansas who are going to be there. But I'm pretty sure I mentioned him before. I just did a story on CJ Nicholas, who is a Taekwondo representative for Team USA, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've never been to an event like that, and I think that's really cool. The mountain biking team is based in Bentonville, and so that could be another event. It's right by Versailles, which is going to be beautiful. And then volleyball. I'm trying to find me a sand volleyball game or two underneath the Eiffel Tower. So those are my top three.
I'm assuming we won't be able to chat with you because you got like the 7-hour time difference and everything. But growing up, I watched the Olympics growing up and everything, but I never had the bug. You're like, oh, that's what I'm going to go cover. I wanted to be around baseball. I wanted to be around football. I wanted to be around major league teams, and the gig that I have now is the kind of thing that I grew up kind of dreaming I would have. Did you ever feel to yourself that the Olympics was the thing or a thing that you dreamed of covering, or was this just kind of something that happened because of who you're working for?
Yeah, no, I think it just kind of organically happened that way, and I think I've really found a new love for it. Not that I didn't love watching the Olympics. I mean, after Saul and I got married in 2016, we were in Cozumel, and most of the time at night we were watching the Olympics happen. So, we love watching it. But covering it just kind of almost felt unrealistic, if that made sense. And for me growing up, it was like the Super Bowl, the World Series, the national championship with football. That's what we watched. So that's what it was in, oh, that's really cool to do. Done 2 Super Bowls, so I got to check that one off my list. But when you do an event like the Olympics and you realize how big it actually is around the world, it's something that kind of doesn't hit you, and it probably won't hit me until it's over. But it's definitely something you never knew you wanted to do until you got asked to do it, and you realize how awesome it is.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.